In the spirit of self definition, which is the ability to articulate who you are, what you're here for, and what you're not here for, I have come upon the expression of calling myself a multidimensional healing artist. Let me say it again for the folks in the back. I am a multidimensional healing artist. It is important for us to be able to name ourselves. And I recognize that a lot of my clients who feel personally misaligned with their internal life end up feeling anxious and depressed and like, what is my purpose? And it's often because they are not in sync with actually who they are and what they are. They might be very cognizant of what they are, but they're actually not that in tune with who they are, right? So I believe that those four quadrants, who you are, what you're here for, and what you're not here for, when you're able to bring all of these into a sense of unity, this is what I call self definition healing. Okay, so I have been practicing this on myself through guided journaling. I have a whole guided journal series called the Black Unicorn Journal of Passions, which really helps us come into this space of unity about these things, right? Self definition healing. So through this process, I have recognized myself to be a multidimensional healing artist. And this means a lot to me because for many years, I held the identity of poet. I have been writing poetry since a young age. I have my master's in fine arts degree in poetry. I was a poetry professor at the Juilliard School for 10 years. I am a global griot. I have been flown all over the world just to spit my shit, okay? So I walk the world as a poet, and this is the first way in which I have unshrunk myself. I am shy and I am confident, and I was not interested in being seen until poetry sort of coaxed me out of my shell. So this is not my first experience with unshrinking myself, but I also really fell into this poetry box and boxed myself in this identity of a poet and then later on as an author. I have published 14 children's books and a book of poetry. So I have this identity as a poet and an author, and that is basically the neighborhood in which I have felt comfortable for a very long time until boom, 2018, when I had this really mystical spiritual awakening in Trinidad and Tobago, which actually is how I came to my work as an oracle. This spiritual awakening sort of lifted the veil for me and helped me to see who I am, more of who I am. I'm still learning who I am, but I learned that I was more than just a poet and I was more than just an author, that I was something else. And around that time, I came to the oracle cards and I started recognizing that I do have this intuition that I can become more in tune with and can use to help others to connect with their intuition. So I started giving myself oracle readings for about 2 years until I started giving readings to clients during the pandemic when people were really going through it and wondering what is going on with life right now. So I had an amazing oracle business take off during the pandemic, and I was giving oracle readings to clients all over the world. Okay, so my identity began to expand from poet and author to oracle reader. And I thought I was just an oracle. And I thought I was just a poet. And I thought I was just an author. And as I have progressed throughout my life, I've realized that the bag just keeps getting deeper. The bag of who I am starts getting more subterranean and more identities keep coming up. So it has been actually really difficult to arrive at something that actually encompasses all of who I am. And so, multi-dimensional healing artist is something that I can stand on at this moment. Maybe next year it will be different, huh? But for now, I could say that um, I have used poetry and writing, and not just poetry, but journaling is actually my first love as a way to heal myself. And when I say healing, all I mean by healing is coming into a space of alignment, right? We have all of these different bodies. We have a physical body, we have an energy body, we have an astral body, we have an emotional body, we have a mental body, right? So all of these bodies, and then we have all of these chakras. So there's a lot of things that can fall out of alignment quite easily. So healing is basically constantly coming into a space of alignment with all of your bodies and all of your chakras and being in a space of balance, right? And so healing is endless. Healing is a daily practice. So when I say that I'm a healing artist, I am an artist in healing. I am an artist in how I live my life. I am an artist in how I put words together. I'm an artist in how I love others and how I love humanity. So, though I can't paint for shit, I am a full blown artist in how I see the world and how I navigate it. And I am an artist in healing. I am constantly healing myself and I am discovering new medicines and modalities that are quite ancient, right? And I am using these medicines that work for me and sharing them with the clients and the friends and the family that resonate with what I bring. So when I say I'm a healing artist, I'm not saying I am healing you. I am saying that I am healing me. And I am going to guide you in some ways that are going to help you heal yourself. And I'm going to journey alongside you and I'm going to support you in that in the ways that I can. All right. So, ever expanding multidimensional healing artist. So now that I got that out of the way, I am a multidimensional healing artist. We understand the healing part, we understand the artist part, the multidimensional part. Woo! Well, I am someone that is operating in several dimensions. There's the dimension, this third dimension that we're in, but I can also close my eyes and go into the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension, and I can bring about healing in those realms, right? When I say a poem to you, you feel it in your chakra system. So while they seem like they're just words, the words are getting into your consciousness and they're planting seeds and they're doing multidimensional work. Okay? So I'm going to sort of get into who I serve and what I serve. All right? So hopefully multidimensional healing artist feels clear. And so I discovered in my world as a poet, I have a very specific voice as a poet. I have a very diverse voice as well. I have a hybrid personality as a Trinidadian who has also lived in America for a long time. So I'm from the Caribbean. I've also lived in the United States. I've traveled to the African continent several times to perform. So I have quite a unique perspective. And my poems are actually quite specific. However, I have learned that my specific ass poems have a very universal um, they have a very universal reach. So I could kick some Trinidadian ass poems in the hills of Appalachia and have them people bringing the house down with applause. I could go to Hungary, which I have, and perform my odes in front of a Hungarian speaking audience in Budapest and asked to return to do so. And I've also been to Greece and have performed my English poems to Greek people, and of course South Africa. They have invited me to come again and again as a daughter of the West, a daughter of the diaspora. So I have learned through my travels that my medicine, I should not block my medicine from anybody who resonates with me. All races, all stripes, all types. I can't say I only serve Black women or I only serve single mothers, even though that is what I am and that's who I often attract. I attract melanated sisters, but I also have clients of all races and ethnicities. It's who resonates with me on a soul level. People connect with me and they know that they want to work with me. All right. So I've learned through poetry that my work is meant for anybody that resonates with me. So I will say that. But what makes my clients I would say my clients, because I'm not gonna say my work is for everybody. Okay? Maybe some religious people might not dig my shit because they're not into what I'm into. So people have to be spiritually open and spiritually curious to be able to fuck with me, right? And but overall, I could say that my clients are people that have this they have an aspiration for themselves. It could be an aspiration for liberation. It could be an aspiration for purpose. They have a particular aspiration and they have identified a particular blockage, right? They have an aspiration and there's a pattern that is not serving them. And they may or may not know where that blockage is coming from. My medicine, it comes in 4 categories: words, energy, curiosity, and compassion. I work within those 4 quadrants to help my clients to understand the source of whatever the fuck, right? Whatever is holding them back, whatever is blocking them from their aspiration. I am all about journeying to the root cause. Symptoms are symptoms, but there's a root to it. So sometimes a client really just needs an energy tune up. They just might need some Reiki to realign their chakras and to deal with some of their overthinking and move about their way. Sometimes it's just a chakra misalignment. Sometimes it's ancestral trauma. Sometimes it's childhood trauma. Sometimes it's past life trauma. Right? So my thing is, let's get to the shit of the matter and really get to the root of the thing and deal with it, man. So I offer several things that help my clients to arrive at that space of, yes, I am in alignment with my aspiration. They can taste it on their tongue that they are maximizing their potential on this planet Earth, right? And not allowing these blockages to get in the way. So my these are my services. I offer text coaching. I have clients that don't necessarily want to show up in a Zoom. They don't want to show up on somebody's couch. They need someone to meet them where they are, which is on their phones. So I have clients that I text coach. I have a text coaching practice that it's very much like wellness coaching. So it's about helping them to process situations, helping them to reach spaces of accountability within themselves, affirming themselves in their goals and holding them accountable to their goals, and also, of course, holding space for their struggles. So it's about holding space for their struggles and their goals and their dreams and holding them accountable, and also giving them solid wellness practices that can help them in their quest. So that's text coaching. All right. I also do book coaching for clients that are writing a book. They want to write a book. I'm like a book doula. So there are people who know they want to write a book, but they haven't figured out the outline. They haven't figured out the structure. They just know they want to write something that it's burning in their soul. So I help them to activate and to create a structure that they can believe in. And for some people that have already started writing and they've reached a space where they've hit a wall, I come in and I help them to understand maybe structurally where they have written themselves into a corner. Some people come to me when the first draft is done and need editing. I'm an awesome editor. And so I help them edit. So all stages of the book project, I come in to support clients in their writing aspirations. All right. I also do journal therapy coaching. So I do this for individuals as well as groups. I have worked with nonprofits. I've worked with educational institutions. I've worked with staff of nonprofits. I've worked with students in educational settings to do group guided journaling circles. This is a vibe. A little known fact about me, I have teachers in my lineage. My grandparents in Trinidad were teachers. I was a teacher for 10 years, well, more than 10 years, but I would say that my crowning achievement as an educator was I taught poetry at the Juilliard School for 10 years. Okay. I've also taught for 5 years at a high school in the South Bronx. I've taught at Rikers Island. Like I can facilitate the shit out of some shit. Okay. So I use that deep and expansive experience as a teaching artist. I was teaching creative writing. So it's very personal. I know how to get personal with people. I know how to get them to trust the space and themselves to allow things that have been hiding in the shadows to come to light. A lot of my healing work is around writing. and it's about surprising yourself on the page. I use journaling prompts that disrupt the normal neural pathways and bring people to a space of self revelation, because I am asking them to write things that they don't necessarily write every day. Even people that journal every day, sitting in a class with me, they're going to journal some shit they ain't journaled before because of my prompts, because I disrupt your normal way of thinking with some of my exercises. So journal therapy is a way of doing shadow integration and understanding some of the unconscious parts of yourself that you're not really aware of on a daily basis. It comes out on the page. So again, I do journal therapy for individuals, but mostly for groups, and different organizations basically commission me to come in and work with their teams. It's great for good journaling. It's great for team building, and great for self introspection in the workplace. Okay, in a workplace context. I also do what else? I also do oracle divination. I started doing this during the pandemic, as I had noticed, as I had mentioned earlier. I use this accessible divination system called the Oracle cards, to basically connect clients to their higher nature, to their higher selves, to their understanding of their situation. I feel that all of my clients that come to me confused and needing clarity and needing direction on the uncharted seas of their lives, they need um they need some, maybe some things thrown up in their faces, some pictures and some messages to help bring them back to what they already know. I tell all of my clients, you already know your answers, but right now you're on some human shit and you're confused and you don't know what to do, but I am convinced that they have their answers. And so I actually use the cards as a way to ask them questions, to put the onus back on them about what they already know to be true about their situation and how to move forward. So it's almost like a form of therapy. I don't call myself a therapist because I'm not certified. I'm certified as a journal therapy coach, but I'm not a therapist. But I have that thing, right? And that causes people to say, man, you're better than most of my therapists. I'm really good at helping people to see themselves. And I use the oracle cards as a way to do that. All right. And I also do oracle poetry, which is writing poetry to oracle cards. This is called oracle poetry activations. This is using my words and using my energy as medicine. So when I do an oracle poetry activation, clients walk away feeling seen. They feel like they're seeing life in a different way, because the oracle cards that they pick and then the poems that come from them are very powerful. And sometimes they only need like 3 cards to process for an entire next few months. It's very potent medicine. Next is Reiki. I'm a Reiki energy healer. I'm certified in Reiki, and if you're not familiar with Reiki, Reiki is essentially a directed healing life force energy. Uh, I am actually not healing anyone. It is actually a sentient healing energy that is moving through me, and is that I am directing towards a client, either in person or remotely. So I am essentially directing this heavenly energy towards your chakra system to clear out any stagnation, to bring your chakras into a space of balance, to help you clear your overthinking. Essentially, Reiki is a subtle energy practice that brings you into a state of deep relaxation, and you basically surrender to it. You lie down and I do the work. And you wake up feeling very relaxed and you're feeling very centered. And one Reiki session can do a lot for someone, especially someone who's been experiencing some mental fog and lack of clarity, and as well as physical pain and discomfort. One session can move the needle on these things, and multiple sessions or regular sessions can also really restore an energy body that has been out of balance for some time. And the last service that I am really excited to talk about is shamanic journeying. Shamanic journeying is my boo. It is my newest love. And I'm also certified in this art form. It is a deeply mystical process of journeying through my inner, using my clairvoyance to journey through my inner realms in order to access ancestors, angels, spirit guides, as well as past life records, which is called the Akashic record, which is your past life record. So I am able to, for clients that are experiencing deep patterns that extend beyond this life, once they uncover childhood trauma and realize that really ain't really it, there's something else going on here. I would tend to believe that it's something ancestral or from a past life that has carried over into your life this time. And so, in the spirit of getting to the bottom of things, I use shamanic journeying as a modality to talk to your ancestors and perform, conduct healing work along with you in the lower realm or the upper realm, just depending on what it is you need. I'm also able to, I mentioned past life, I'm actually able to journey into past life situations that are affecting you today and help you to understand why you are the way you are. And it's up to you to connect the dots between this life and the last one and why you are experiencing this pattern or this behavior or this situation over and over and over again. That is something that you have not cleared from a past life. And this is where coming into a space of that recognition gives us the space to help to clear and to heal and to bring these disparate selves and narratives into alignment. The thing is, it's really hard to heal something when you don't understand where something is coming from. It really is difficult to come into alignment when you're not aware. So I am huge on self-awareness, and part of that self-awareness means having to go back, 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 back. And this is what I'm very passionate about for my own life, is understanding why I am the way I am. And when, for the clients that really resonate with me, this is my flagship offer, is shamanic journeying. It is the thing that is deeply special. There's nothing like it, and I absolutely love offering it. And I don't offer it often. I have to really resonate with you as a client. So we go through a process and talk, and then I decide whether this is a modality that would really serve you, right? So now, hopefully, you understand what I mean when I say that I'm a multidimensional healing artist. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or if you want to have a discovery session, a 30-minute discovery call where we can talk more in depth and see if there's any ways in which you align with what I do and would like to explore further. But I'm here. I'm very happy to be here to serve humanity. This is day 2 in the books for the Unshrinking Challenge. If you have been listening for this long, thank you so much for allowing me to take up space in your day. I love you, and I look forward to day 3.